of feed off each energy from each other as well. It'll be a nice opportunity to do that. All right. Okay, Chip, that's all you. Welcome everyone to our evening of sacred sound, or Kirtan. We're honored to be here at the ever mystical and now even more mystical Jaya. Thank you, Jacqueline, for having us here. I say even more mystical because she has just come from her own wonderful journey from both Europe and India. And so while we keep the lights a little bit low, if you notice a glow coming from the backside, that's clearly Jacqueline. She's still buzzing from her trip. And I walked in, we've been communicating obviously before tonight, and then I walked in, I said, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is India? 1, 10, she goes, 15. And it was the first time in how many years?
14.
14 years.
Yes.
And if you get on her good side, she'll tell you about the incredible meditation she led in Rishikesh on a full moon with hundreds of students, which in and of itself was a very powerful experience, yes? Rishikesh is a beautiful space where you can find the Ganga, this ancient primordial river that flows, and it's a sacred river, and it flows with actually a lot of force through Rishikesh. It's quite strong, this ancient river. We were there just last summer. My mom and dad and Tara and I were there last summer, and in the holy space of Rishikesh, city of Rishikesh. And it might be one of the few cities where it feels like there are more Westerners than Indians, right? And it's the highest city when it comes to per capita number of people that have dreadlocks. Because there's a lot of yogis that are there, Western yogis that are there. That's what we noticed. And yoga pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great space though. It's a great, wonderful, ancient, we wouldn't even call it a city. It's a city, it's like a village. Welcome, come on in. You know, we're a cozy group. I'm gonna put us on the spot. Let's share our names. And what brings you here today? What is it? Curiosity? Have you attended kirtans before? Did you feel some magnetic astrological pull? Did someone twist your arm? So let's just share our names and what brought us here tonight. So why don't we start over here?
Well, I'm Ricky, and I've been lucky to attend. This is my third event and I've been enjoying each one of them. And I just came for the kirtan.
Great. Wonderful, thank you.
And I'm Marla.
Marla.
It's our first time, and when you were here last time, you got such good reviews that I thought I'm going to come and experience it for myself. So
Thank you so much. We're glad you're here, Marla. Welcome.
I'm Walter.
Walter.
Marla.
Package deal.
I'm here. I used to be in a band. I love music. And,
Great.
This is a new experience.
Oh, wonderful. Can I ask what you play?
A guitar.
Play the guitar. Janta, you're going to have someone critiquing, okay?
Yeah.
You're a guitar player. So just
Already
face that way.
impressed,
Already impressed. Good. Walter, right? And Marla and Ricky.
George.
George, welcome.
I'm a student here at Jaya Yoga.
Great.
I've attended a few activities, stuff like this.
Oh, great.
I'm somewhat challenged by the lyrics. But as Jacqueline says, just make it till you make it.
That's it. You'd be surprised how much you can use that in life. That's great. You're going to do great tonight. And I'll just add a little comment, which is that we're really big on keeping this like a guided meditation. So you'll find that it's going to be easy to go along. And when we face struggles in Kirtan, you find that the voices of everyone else carry you forward. That's the best part. So welcome, George. Yes.
I'm Wendy, and I've been coming to the studio here for years. I particularly love Jacqueline's meditation classes. This is my first Kirtan, although I've watched them
Good.
on YouTube.
Okay.
And so curiosity, but also the environment, the peacefulness, joy was drawing me here.
Excellent. It was Caitlin?
Wendy.
Wendy, I'm sorry.
That's it.
Wendy, welcome.
Thank you.
Happy to have you here.
My name's Amy.
Say it again.
Amy.
Amy. Very nice.
And I love Kirtan.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish I had it as a regular gathering.
Uh-huh.
So I was really happy to see this happening tonight.
Okay. Amen. We're coming home with you now, okay? As a group, we'll be following you along. No, I'm joking. I'm so glad you made it. That's my mom.
My name is Preeti, but they call me Pretty.
Pretty. Pretty.
Now his mom, and he asked me to come. I said definitely I'll come. I live in Markham, and glad to be here. This beautiful place, I loved it, and it's really nice.
Yeah, Tara and Tara's originally from Russia. I was born here. My mom's from India, but we've grown up in Krishna communities and spiritual communities, and my mom and dad are a testament to my personal spiritual path. So thanks for joining us, Mom. And speaking of moms of yoga studios, Jacqueline.
I know everyone, but coming out of my trip, we do this practice every day, not only first thing in the morning, but in the evening time as well. And so I've just been missing it, and it's so nice to have you guys back. Yeah, I'm glad you're so open to still running it, even it was a smaller group than last time, but you're like, let's do it. And
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful because I've missed it very much.
Yeah, we've been doing Kirtan in Toronto in the yoga scene for like 10 plus years now, and we find that you just be consistent.
Yeah.
And then word gets around, and people like Marla and Walter, right, come around and say, I heard this was kind of fun, I'll check it out. So, just keep at it. It starts to grow, and the heart opens even more. So, thanks for all that you're doing, Jacqueline.
My name is Echo. I love Jacqueline's events, and of course, last time she raved about it, so I just have to come.
Okay.
And as I'm trying to study the word Om, understanding how sound really affected our vibration and such, and then I've been kind of into using sound to kind of heal. So I'd love to experience this.
Excellent.
Echo
Wonderful.
runs puppy yoga, by the way.
Oh yes, I do.
Yes.
She runs, what was that?
Puppy yoga.
Oh.
Kind of also externally
There you go.
inspired love type of yoga.
We're going to be calling you for that. Puppy yoga, that's great. That's fantastic. We're broadcasting live for all of our Kirtan. This is
Prema.
Prema is originally from Mexico.
I'm from Mexico City. 2 years ago, I got married with my husband there, Kamala Kanta. We are like kind of international. He's from India, and we love Kirtan. We are like pretty loud, very festive, but very happy.
They often win awards for cutest couple. They're adorable. Now he's blushing. Kamala.
My name is Kamla. I love Kirtan. I've been associating with Kirtan for the past 4 or 5 years. I myself play drum, I play this. I'm trying to learn harmonium as well. It gives me like a source of meditation. And since childhood, I've always been in drumming, like listening to rock bands and listening to different kind of music. And music is always uplifts my spirits. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always go to music. It always helps.
Well said. I'm happy that he's part of the group today. Jit, are you able to play and talk at the same time?
I can.
I tried to make yoga, bhakti yoga last 30 years. And we play Kirtan in many places, especially in Russia, in the war especially.
Yeah.
But where people complete this and don't get nothing. It was so great, and this place is so beautiful to improve the spirit knowledge and to get the spirit knowledge. Oh my God, I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here with us, Jay, as part of the group. My name is Kevala, and I'm honored to be part of the group presenting today. And what has always drawn me to Kirtan, I kind of like what Echo, right? Said that, the power of sound and the influence it can have on your heart and on your consciousness and on your soul. And I could wax on for a long time, but one thing that I'll just say is I think music is fundamentally spiritual. And why is that it comes from the spirit. Any great band, any great musician will say this comes from somewhere deep within. And so it seems natural to me that, that light within, that spirit, that soul, that Atma, that divine presence is where you can channel this pure mood of happiness. So that's where I draw a lot of energy and a lot of joy from this practice of chanting these mantras. Hey, you're up. Mama to be.
My name is Tara, Kevala's husband, wife.
All right.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, why not? We're gender fluid.
So I kind of grew up in a family practicing bhakti yoga, so been always surrounded by kirtan and this practice. So, and it gives me a source of peacefulness and connection to the divine and the spiritual force. I'm grateful to be here and sharing this experience with all of you. So thank you so much for being here.
Tonight's going to be an exploration of sacred sound. And the goal is going to be to take the heart, frankly, both the physical and the metaphysical heart, and to try to open it up. And we're going to approach it with this type of attitude, that a lot of what we do in this world tends to cover the heart. So the need for finding happiness through materialism, or the idea that overcoming someone who challenges you, or stepping over someone to get what you want, or the idea that money's going to make me ultimately happy. These are described as things that give temporary happiness, but actually just end up covering and frankly closing the heart. So there's a lot of ways you can kind of unlock the keys to the heart and reopen it. You can do it through good acts. You can do it through trying to put up positive energy. Tonight we tap into an experience and a tradition that stems back to ancient times, where great sages and yogis would come together and they would vibrate mantras with their bodies, with their voices. And they become the instrument. And it'll be like a little science experiment. We'll see what happens by the end of the evening. To help us get in the right frame of mind, let's all slowly close our eyes. As you're seated comfortably, let's place our palms on our knees, just facing upwards. If you're on the chair, you can just have your feet on the ground firmly, about shoulder width apart. As recommended in the ancient Bhagavad Gita, by the divine Krishna to his student Arjuna, the yogi keeps his or her back, neck, and head erect in a straight line. Take a moment and focus on your breathing. The breath into your lungs, how it animates your body, and the breath leaving your body. Still closed, we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll do this collectively on the count of 3. Take our time. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Again, slow breath in. And breathing out. Last time, cleansing breath in through the nose. And out. With our eyes still closed, I want you to have a little visualization. We go on a journey to the sacredest of spaces. We're no longer in North York, we're no longer in Toronto, we're no longer in Ontario. We travel to the Far East. And while the journey should take hours and hours with stopovers and all sorts of headaches like luggage, for us the journey is already complete. We're now in the sacred land of the East. We're in the foothills of the Himalayas. We start to make our way up. Traversing through mountainous roads, winding paths. Our journey is taking us to sacred spaces where the originations of ancient rivers like the Ganges, like the Yamuna, where ancient temples for Lord Shiva, for Lord Vishnu reside, in Kedarnath and Badrinath. As we make our way up, you can hear the sounds of crystal clear rivers passing under and beside the road. Small villages where people have lived for generations and generations. Sounds of children laughing. The smell of exotic spiced flavors coming from warm, thatched homes. Animals graze, but these aren't just ordinary animals, these are mountain animals. We find goats. There are cows that are a little shorter, or stumpier in this area of the Himalayas. And most importantly, you see all around you sages and yogis and people on spiritual journeys traversing up this mountainous region of the Himalayas. You pass by ancient temples where bells, incense, lamps burn. At the top of these paths, you find these 4 sacred spaces. And in many ways, they can represent like the 4 chambers of our very hearts. It's not easy to get there. Just like anything else in life, we persevere to grow. We persevere to survive sometimes. So in the same way as we traverse up this mountainous path, which can sometimes take days, we realize that it takes a lot of effort. But the goal is that the heart begins to open. And you realize that as you reach that temple, those temples, these 4 sacred temples at the top of these mountainous regions, which by the way, actually exist to this day, each chamber of your heart becomes purified, opens. And you allow your heart to be filled with sound. The sound of mantras, ancient Sanskrit words that are being sung, that are being recited. The sound of temple bells, the sound of drums. This is the journey we get to go on today. And our goal is that the heart, just like a lotus flower, is going to open one petal at a time. So keep this visualization in your mind, in your heart, as we traverse through this evening. And consider how far along you are ascending up this path. And hopefully by the end we reach this space where we find the temple of the heart, where the rivers run clean, where the air is crystal clear, and where our true spiritual selves can be nourished. Let's bring our hands to the heart in the pranam pose. A deep cleansing breath on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And exhale. And in these last few seconds, make an intention for the evening. But as I traverse up this path, which can seem difficult at times, I will reach that space where I can open my heart, that the lotus flower of my heart will open and reveal our true nature. Our true nature as being full of love, full of light, full of knowledge. Make that intention. Slowly open your eyes. And with your hands still together, we're going to do a little thing where we welcome each other. So turn to your neighbor around and behind and just give them a very warm namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Okay, are we ready for an evening of sacred sound? The heart has been primed? Okay, we have enough for everybody. Let's just pass these over. We're going to be chanting mantras. And these mantras are not just concocted words. Let me know if we need any more. Yeah, sure. Yeah? There's a common theme on this journey that we just went on. All the sounds that we hear as we travel on this path are names, are mantras that call upon divine names. So we're going to chant 3 different chants this evening, and each one kind of builds on the next. And we're going to explain what they mean, and you're going to be able to follow along. But in a simple way of putting it, mantras are like medicine for the world, and it's medicine for our heart. In ancient times, great sages and yogis would sit together and commiserate, and they would say, how can we do good for the world? What can we do? We can clothe them, we can feed people, but we're limited to time and space. But they realized that the ancient yoga texts describe that if we recite mantras, the sound vibration not only heals within, but it creates concentric circles of energy that can not only benefit everyone around you, but can frankly envelop the entire town, the entire village, the entire world. And so to do good for the world, great sages would come together and they would chant joyfully. And they would engage in this musical chanting process. This is a powerful system, and it's one that has been used for thousands upon thousands of years. And who would have thunk it that here we are, generations and thousands upon years later, and we get to be links in that chain of chanters that have tried to put out that positive spiritual energy for the world. We use mantras to chant divine names. So in our first chant, we chant names like Govinda, Gopala, and Hari.
So we're going to have Tara who's going to lead us in how this mantra goes. We'll just practice the vocalization, and then I'm going to explain what this mantra means so you have an idea of where we're at. Are we okay? Yeah? If we need to adjust ourselves, don't hesitate to do so. If you want to stretch a little more, if you want to use a chair, don't hesitate to get up and be comfortable. Okay. So we'll try 2 words at a time, a few words at a time. And we'll try to get the words just a little comfortable. Use your paper, and then I'll explain what we're going to be chanting, okay? Okay, let's give that a shot ourselves, all together. Excellent. Together. Again. This time a little louder. Jaya, Jaya, Deva, Hari. All together. That again. Kirtan is on call and response, so Tara will be singing, and then we all sing together in response. If you find yourself getting reserved, it's normal. There's a condition where the mind is saying to you, we shouldn't be doing this right now. This is kind of weird for us. You push through it and say to the mind, okay, we'll get back to the regular scheduled programming shortly. So let's just try to go along with this ride. If you feel the need to just pause for a second, you can do that and just listen to everyone else's voices. But then contribute back, because as you sing, chances are someone else needs to be pushed along as well. So we do this in a call and response form. It's very normal to sway as you're doing kirtan. Sound has that effect on us. You may start to tap your hand on your knee. I may encourage you to clap your hands softly or even enthusiastically. That helps to create the sound vibration. And then we'll see how we feel after. The names we chant, Govinda, Gopala, Hari. These are names, divine names of Krishna. And it is described that there are as many names of the divine as there are waves in the ocean. People say creator, people say energy, people say Allah, people say Yahweh, Jehovah. Whatever understanding of that divine presence within, that divine presence that animates us. This is something that sages and yogis say, this is what feeds my soul. So these names, Govinda and Gopala, particularly call upon the divine who is the master of our senses which are constantly seeking happiness. the goal is to reach Govinda, Gopal. When we say Jaya, Jaya, it is like calling upon names jubilant. I said Kirtan is done in a joyful way. And Hari is another beautiful name of the divine. So we're going to just dive in head first and try the first chant, and then we'll have a little chat and see how we did after that, okay? If you're feeling shy, the other secret is just close your eyes and sing. The whole world disappears. Okay. little moment at the end of each kirtan where we kind of sit quietly, it lets the sound continue to vibrate inside. It allows us to kind of feel the vibration continuing in the air. And for each of us, it's a different kind of experience, but it's a good moment for contemplation. How did that feel? You can either use a word, or a few words, or a thought. What was the experience like? We're a small group, so let's all feel free to share. It's like a little familial environment. What was that experience like for us? How did it feel?
I feel the volume increasing as we proceeded.
Yeah, that
the
volume.
energy building. Yeah.
That energy was building as we were proceeding. Yeah, thank you, George. Right? Very nice. Walter was saying something as well.
Yeah, a little scary at the beginning, but then you get right into it.
Yeah, a little scary at the beginning, and you get right into it. Kind of like swimming, kind of like riding a bike, kind of like going in on your first day of work. Just like everything else, the body, the heart, the mind attune. Kind of say, okay, okay, very nice. How else did you feel?
We
What
do
was the experience
calm.
like?
Calming.
Yeah, that's
Peaceful.
yes, calming, peaceful, energy building. comfortable as you will. Anyone else want to share?
Silence is very powerful after a period of not being silent.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's a lesson that the whole world could use. And we don't always have to fill things with sound, right? It's good to take a little quiet time to contemplate. It's an experience of exploring sacred sound, and you do that in sacred space, which you find in the heart. And I, said it in a joking way, but I really meant it. This becomes a sacred space. Each one of us on our journey. I was saying that Jacqueline has made this space even more mystical and effulgent through her journeys and her leading this wonderful space. But actually, it's vibrations like this that nurture the space even more. And it's why people are able to come into spaces like this, or why temples feel, or spiritual spaces feel, or sacred spaces feel that energy that you walk in and kind of say, yeah, there's something different that feels in the air, right? It's because you have a multitude of generations of voices and positive and spiritual uplifting energy pouring itself into those spaces. And so that's why we try to feel a connection, like Tara said, to that sacred space in the heart and physical space around us. Okay, we're going to continue with our second chant. Yeah? We're going to keep going with this little experiment of opening the heart.
A little more words.
A few more words. But now you're all seasoned experts, so we can take you to the intermediate level. You want me to say them? We're going to see the words at a time. The words go as follows. We'll just repeat. You guys did a great job, by the way, vocalizing. That was great.
Yeah.
As you got comfortable, we could feel your voices coming through loud and clear. And that's wonderful. Great job. The words for the second chant, I'll explain it, go as follows. Jaya Radhe. Go ahead. Jaya Radhe. Jaya Krishna. Jaya Krishna. Jaya Vrindavan. Jaya Vrindavan. Again. Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe. Jaya Krishna. Jaya Krishna. Jaya Vrindavan. Jaya Vrindavan. Shri Govinda. Shri Govinda. Gopinath. Gopinath. Madana Mohan. Madana Mohan. Shri Govinda. Shri Govinda. Gopinath. Gopinath. Madana Mohan. Madana Mohan. This second line where the word Vrindavan comes. Our little journey at the beginning took us from the foothills to the peaks of the Himalayas. So now we traverse to another part of sacred India where we enter the holy land of Vrindavan. It is the space where thousands upon thousands of years ago it's described that incredibly supernatural experiences happened. And to this day, there is a flock of sages and yogis that are drawn to this mystical land. Of note are the ancient temples. You walk into these temples and you feel like you're going back in time. And we had this experience last summer. We went to the 7 main temples of Vrindavan. Some of them centuries old, some of them thousands of years old. And you feel like the space, the rituals, the atmosphere, it's like you went back in a time machine. And what we're going to is a simpler time when we didn't have so many distractions. It wasn't a place where you could access the world's information in literally your pocket. It wasn't a place and a time where you were bombarded with messages that Black Friday is here, you gotta get the best deal. And you have to climb over and beat your fellow human being to get that widescreen TV. That message wasn't there. This was a place where we honored the divine. We honored the presence of the divine in the archanam, the form of the murti, or the deity, or the center icon of the temple. It was a place where people gathered as a community, and they would sing, and they would chant, and they would laugh, and they would commune, and they would eat, and just have that real heart-to-heart connection. And this continues in Vrindavan. There are people, and I keep saying great yogis and sages, but frankly there are those who have said, I've had enough of this world, I'm going to live a simple life. And they have one cloth on the bottom, one cloth on top, and they live a simple life. And they just carry beads around and they meditate. And they become ecstatic in this meditation. In Vrindavan, you can find people rolling in the dust of Vrindavan because they say, great sages have passed through this land. I'm going to collect the dust from their feet. That'll give me ecstasy. That's a pretty high realm to reach. But it's a sacred space, and so this chant calls upon the names of Jaya Vrindavan. Again, Jaya is this honorific way of calling these names. Radha and Krishna, the divine presence both in male and female energies. Krishna is the supreme, divine, all-attractive one, the most beautiful. Radha calls upon the feminine energy of the divine. In Eastern traditions, you'll find that kind of yin and yang and symbolic representations of both sides. Govinda and Gopinath, similar to what we chanted before, calling upon the senses, and one who is the controller, ultimately, the divine. Madana Mohan is the name of this specific form or aspect of the divine. There's a temple called the Madan Mohan Temple. Again, one of the most ancient temples in Vrindavan. This actually, first two lines, are part of a very long song or a bhajan or a chant that is often sung by great aspiring bhakti yogis. So we're going to dabble in the first two lines. Ready to go for the second chant? Yeah? We'll see how we do as we feel.
Somebody needs a chair to give me.
If you need to use a chair, if you need to get a little comfortable in a comfortable position. You got a little chilly, huh? You can feel that? I noticed the duos were grabbing blankets. Somebody put on snow pants. I heard that. The name Madan Mohan. It is calling upon this form of the divine that came as an appearance to a great sage. This sage's name was Sanatana Goswami. And he came upon this land of Vrindavan. And it's described that Krishna appeared to him in this form of Madan Mohan. And in this little form, kind of like what we have on a little sacred altar here, these little icons of words, Madan Mohan had a personal relationship with this sage and said, build a temple for me. And he said, I'm just a mendicant, I don't have anything. I have literally the cloth on my body. What do I do? And so he strapped the deity onto a tree and hung from a swing and said, this is your temple now, this tree. And Madan Mohan said, okay, I'll take it. And he said, I'm kind of hungry now. And this relationship he had with the divine. This, by the way, is the essence of Bhakti Yoga. Is relationship. Loving relationship. So Madana Mohan says, well, I'm kind of hungry. And the sage says, I have no vegetables, I have no fruits, I have no spices. And so he takes a little bit of flour and a little bit of water and mixes it and makes his little dough balls. He says, that's the best I can do. And Madan Mohan says, well, can I have a little salt? He says, well, I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee it. It's described that Madana Mohan, the form of Krishna, the divine, then mystically arranged that our merchant had his ship of wares, his little boat of wares, get stuck in the banks by the river. And Sanatana Goswami helps to arrange him to move this little boat that's full of wares. And this man says, you know, I was off to sell these at the market and you saved me, or else I was going to miss the profit that I would make. So how can I repay you? He says, well, this little divine form has appeared to me and said, build me a temple. Can you help me build a temple? And the man says, sure. I'll come back in a few days. And he built a temple that remains today. When you approach Vrindavana, the name of this beautiful space, sacred land in India, from a distance you can still see on the top of a hill the Madana Mohan temple. We were just talking about it today. It's a beautiful ancient temple. That was a longer explanation than I
That's
expected.
beautiful.
So Madana Mohan, you can say, represents really the beginning of this divine relationship. And Bhakti Yoga is all about that, this idea of trying to use the heart to open up this channel of what does it mean to channel my love. And we're going to get to that, especially with the final chant, what it means to put out this energy of love and where do we channel it towards and what effect does it have. Okay, ready for the second chant? Any other questions, concerns? We're okay? Welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
Happy to have you here. What's your name, by the way?
Donna.
Donna, welcome. We're happy you
Glad to
joined
be
us.
here.
We're happy to have you here. Okay, let's try that together. Use the words. Jaya Krishna, Jaya Let's transport our hearts to that sacred space. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Together. Shri Govinda, Govinda, Madana Your full hearts. Shri Govinda, Govinda, Madana Radha, Madana Wonderful. You know, we gave you guys like an intermediate chant there, and you took right to it. Nicely done.
Very kind.
Make it to make it, right?
Yeah, I was picking up on your fake.
Walter's like, thanks for passing that my way. Oh gosh. You know, we're chanting chanting mantras and words that seem foreign to the tongue. But if you were to go into the deepest texts, the yoga texts of the East, they would say that these mantras have been lying dormant in the heart for a long time. And we're just unlocking these little chambers in the heart with these mantras. That's why it's so common in Kirtan to be kind of swaying and finding this mood of happiness and joy coming. It's really common. In fact, this path of bhakti yoga, which simply means the yoga of the heart, the yoga of love, the yoga of devotion, it is meant to be joyfully performed. The Bhagavad Gita says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Yasochatina Kanchati Samasarvesha Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Prasannatma means one who is so happy in this joyful performance. Susukam Kartum Avyayam. That as you tap into this region of the heart where you're using mantras to open it up, you find that your lips crawl upwards and you smile, that you feel a sense of spiritual peace. So while the words seem foreign, this is why the medicine works. You know, it would be really frustrating if you were parched and thirsty and you just came from a long walk from like Young and Finch up to Jaya Yoga in the middle of the summer. And if you walked in and said to Jacqueline, can I get some water? And she said, just do me a favor, don't drink the water, just chant water, 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 water. It'd be frustrating because you'd be like, I need that water. And chanting the name water doesn't really do the trick. It's described that it's because we're chanting material things. And just think about the mantras that are existing in the world right now. What we're being encouraged to chant constantly. Yeah? Think about what things like social media do, what kind of messages we're chanting, of how opulent and wonderful my life is, when deep down inside I'm going through all sorts of struggles. So the yoga texts of the East, particularly the bhakti texts, say strip all that away and chant spiritual mantras that are actually non-different than the actual words that you're chanting. So while the word water and the actual water are different in the material realm, in the spiritual realm, when you chant Govinda, Gopala, Hari, Jaya, Radha, it is said that you are having like a conversation with this divine presence. It's happening because the name is non-different than the persona. So we're constantly feeding this relationship that's there. And it's like watering the root of the tree as opposed to walking around and watering all the branches and leaves separately. Because if you can nurture the relationship with the divine, as described in yoga, then you begin to see the presence of the divine in everything around you. A great sage sees with equal vision a fellow sage, a holy man, an elephant, a cow, a dog, even someone who says, you know, that dog is my meal, I want to eat that dog. Someone that low, he sees with equal vision. Someone who may cause harm to the world, he says, no, you're also, there's a spark of the divine within you as well. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmani he gravihastane sunichaiva swapake cha pandita samidarshana. This is the verse in the Bhagavad Gita that the great sage sees with this equal vision. And it's because he or she has been spending time watering that cosmological root of the tree. By chanting these mantras, you're nurturing your relationship with the root, and therefore every person I encounter, let's just put aside every other entity that's out there, every person I encounter, family, friends, even those who might give us a little bit of pushback in the workplace, the guy who cuts you off on the DVP or the 401, you kind of say to yourself, you know what, it's okay. So, mantras and the recitation of mantras audibly allow us to channel the senses, to activate the mind. It nourishes what we call the higher mind or the intelligence, and the soul illuminates. And this is what sacred sound does. And this is why when great musicians or composers for generations across Europe or across South America, all around the world, when they've composed incredibly moving pieces of music, you're brought to tears. It's because there's something, the heartstrings are being plucked actually. So this is where spirituality and meditation and mantras, they all have this symbiotic relationship in Bhakti Yoga. And so for those who practice the physical yoga, the mantras and the meditation become a way that supplement, that help us, to nourish our physical practice. And the physical practice helps to get the body a little bit more in better shape, to quiet the mind, to allow the soul to experience the mantras. So again, the symbiosis is there. It all sounds very nice, but 500 years ago, particularly in India, northeastern India, there was this pushback that said no. Not everybody can do this. You have to be born in a certain family. You have to have a certain astrological chart. You have to be of a certain type of class of people. Then you can have access to this type of spirituality. And it pains me to say it, but a lot of this is still there in India today. This kind of what they call the class or the caste system that says, you're an untouchable. I was born of the highest class, and even though I lead a life that is like a complete debauch, I kind of go around and drink and I womanize and I do this, but I'm born in a high class, so I'm still better than you. It's like this weird birthright thing that people have. And so 500 years ago this existed, and these social walls were being built. And you can imagine what kind of walls exist today. We have all sorts of social walls that we're trying to break down. It's described that a manifestation of the divine, whose name was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya, or Gauranga, these are different names, came, and he was this kind of incredibly charismatic figure, looked upon as none other than a presence of the divine. His complexion of his skin was described as like a molten golden color. His eyes were like lotus petals. And he came along and he said, forget everything everyone's told you. Forget all these social walls. Anybody can chant. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter your gender, doesn't matter your identity, doesn't matter your family, doesn't matter where you come from. If you have a tongue, if you have a heart, if you have a mind, you can chant and you can find that happiness within. And he shook up the entire system that was there. And you know what? It freaked everybody out. All these people that were making their livelihood on being this high-class pandas or brahmanas that would say you can't enter the temple, they were like, this isn't fair. He's installing the temple in the heart of every person. And they're finding happiness. And so as we navigate this troubled world even today, and we think about the kind of walls we're trying to break down, we can think about the power that mobilized people 500 years ago in India. And what they did was they chanted, and they found that happiness within. And that's the preamble for our final chant of the evening, the Hare Krishna mantra, which goes far beyond the airport to the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It goes far beyond that. I mean, those were a lot of young monks that were taken to this path, and they were doing it in this wholehearted way, and they didn't know much. In their beautiful overzealousness, they were trying their best. And we grew up in communities like that. And we realize now through maturation of our spiritual path that, there's a whole depth behind it. The Hare Krishna chant, which became ubiquitous and became popular in the 60s and 70s, actually stems back to primordial times, to millennia ago. It's described in the Kali Sankara Upanishad, one of the ancient texts. And it says there that the recitation of this mantra can invoke a great power that can, again, pass through any type of walls that are created in our lives. You can chant this mantra anywhere and anywhere, anytime and anywhere. So let's try it together, 2 words at a time. You can have the paper right in front of you. This will be a mantra that will catch on easily. Let's imagine our hearts overflowing. together. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Can I get a little warm water in here?
Yes.
This mantra is a mantra that can activate this idea that, I can find love and humility in the heart. There's 3 words, thank you, sorry for bothering you. 3 words in this mantra, Hare, Krishna, and Rama. Krishna simply means the all-attractive personification of the divine. Most beautiful. It is fitting that when we call these divine names, there should be this most beautiful form attached to it. I grew up in Markham, so not far from here, and mom and dad, even though we grew up in this Krishna culture or in this culture of spirituality of bhakti yoga, they said in the 80s, well, public schools aren't teaching anything about spirituality. Let's put your kids in Roman Catholic school, growing up in elementary and high school. And so, it was a little confusing because it was Jesus and Gospels and parables at school, and then it was Krishna and mantras and Kirtan at home. And so it was like this clash of East and West. And I remember this idea that, and you see this in the cartoons also, and even Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, God is like with the long beard and the sandals, and this flowing white robe. And it's beautiful. What was described in the East as the personification of Krishna is the most beautiful. They're not different actually, let's be honest. But this beautiful form is described in the yoga texts. That of having a complexion of like a bluish grayish color. Like a monsoon cloud that is about to erupt with thunderous rain. Shark-shaped earrings. Lightning yellow cloth. Bedecked with jewels and crowns. So very detailed descriptions are given. And all meant to supplement this idea of the beautiful divine. Hare addresses Radha. We called this name earlier. It is the feminine energy of the divine, personified as Radha. When you call upon it, it is Hara or Hare. And it shows up as half the mantra, which means that it is through the agency of the feminine energy that we access the divine. So Hare or Hara. Rama means the source of all pleasure. The same way that I've been preaching this idea or waxing on about this idea that this materialistic world and the messages we get, ultimately we're looking for happiness and pleasure, right? The whole world is moving for that. Sensual pleasure, monetary pleasure, career-like pleasure. I can find this happiness. And the yoga texts say the source of all pleasure is Rama. That's why you go to places in India and people just say, they're constantly saying, Ram Ram, Radhe Radhe, Hari Hari. Chanting these names is a way of greeting. When these 3 words are used in combination in the 16-word mantra, the meaning is very potent. It simply means, oh, the divine beautiful form, oh, divine feminine energy, oh, source of all pleasure. Please allow me this little spark. That's what we are, right? We're a little spark. Please, thank you very much. Please allow me this little spark, one of 7 billion on this planet, 7+ billion on this planet. Please allow me to engage in a little humility. Please allow me to have the mood of servitude towards others. Please help me find that divine love in my heart. Can you imagine if, I say this all the time, but I think it's a powerful message. Can you imagine if everyone in this neighborhood just became 10% more humble? Or what would happen if all of Toronto became 5% more humble for a day? A little more humility in the heart? Do you think we'd feel that? It'd be noticeable, wouldn't it? Well, what if the entire world developed more of a mood of servitude as opposed to what's mine is mine and what's yours is negotiable? Right? That's kind of like the whole concept that we have in this world, that, dog eat dog, they say, right? Imagine if we had this mood of servitude in the heart. That's the meaning behind this mantra. And so it's been sung for thousands of years. And 500 years ago, this was the mantra that Chaitanya, Gauranga, this molten golden effulgent form, he used this mantra to break down all those walls. And he traversed on foot through all of India, South India particularly, and kicked off a spiritual renaissance. This was at the same time that Europe was going through their artistic renaissance. So it was interesting that while they were going through this artistic renaissance, India was going through a spiritual renaissance that was saying, chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, and anybody can activate this joy in the heart and this mood of servitude in the heart. So let's try it one more time together. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
We'll sing this final mantra with our full hearts for the final chant. Try that together. We're going to use the paper. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare eyes still closed. Think about the journey that we went on tonight. We traversed the foothills, scaled the mountains, allowed sacred sound to enter the heart, through the ears, through the eyes, through the senses. Together we chanted, and with each mantra we opened a petal of the heart. We inaugurated the temple of the heart. We'll do one final mantra all together. As we chant this mantra, we're going to raise our arms up in the air to let our voices fully go. And we'll make this last mantra count. If we haven't been able to fully meditate, this is our chance to fully let ourselves go in this mantra meditation. So we'll follow Taravali as she sings this final mantra, but we'll sing it all together. Are we ready?